Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Rev Up for Success Radio. We are so excited to bring our guest today, Marsh Engle. I'm excited. I know you are too. Our guest, Marsh Engle, who has been a mentor in my past, actually had a lot to do with my launching my own brand, my own message, my own mission, and really connecting with my own purpose. And she does that for millions of women all over the world. I mean, really all over the world. This woman is amazing. And I told her if I was younger than her, I would want to be her when I grew up. But I'm older than her. So whatever that looks like. But we're excited for that. And we are here at Raven International Radio Broadcasting. And I'm so proud to be part of Raven's network. We've been together over 3.5 years. We've done over almost 130 shows, so pretty amazing. And now here we are live on YouTube also. So we have all these aspects for you so that your week, your life, your success can all be inspired, and that you can move forward in your life and create the amazing things you were designed for. And so that's what Marsh is all about. So Marsh, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you. You were just talking before the show started, and I was saying congratulations, but I really believe it's beyond congratulations. It's more of thank you for the inspiration that you bring to me, that you bring to so many. And by staying true to your vision and true to your mission, you really light us up. And we were talking about the word ignite. That's your word that you use a lot. And I say you ignite a lot of passion in all of us. So thank you, Claudia. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Well, it's going to be fun. And actually, Marsh, you were on my show in the very beginning, probably like my 4th show. I don't know if you remember or not, but way back then. So you were willing to step out and trust me with that first, my first initial shows, and we had a great show then. And it's in the archives, so it's there for any of you that are listening today and watching today. You can go back in the archives, and actually now we have bios about each of them, how you can connect with them, so you don't have to ever lose any of your notes, your sticky notes that you wrote it on. You've got it. It's right there. I'm keeping it for you, nice and safe. But let me tell you a little bit about Marsh. Marsh is actually, her company is Marsh Engle Media, and her title is CEO, of course, of Marsh Engle Media. And I'm just going to tell you now, but we'll tell you again at the end of the show how you can reach her. Her website is www.marshengle.com. And her email is marsh@marshengle.com. She's not hard to lose. And it's M-A-R-S-H, and it's Engle as E-N-G-L-E. So I just wanted to make sure you all know that, and we will again address that toward the end because I want you to hear what she's up to. Plus, as you can see behind her, her new book just came out. So we can't wait to hear more about that. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and so on. But all of you, you know, like I said, that she was a mentor of mine way back when I was first kicking off. Marsh, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe it was like 6-7 years ago. It's been a while.
At least 4 or 5. At least.
It has been at least 5.
What I love to do the most is exactly what you and I had the fun pleasure to work together on, and that is finding the heart and soul of your true calling, finding the heart and soul of your mission and your purpose, finding it in a way that relates to others. And that's my favorite thing to do. I love to do this, and I've launched so many beautiful, powerful teachers like you, and what a joy it is to see, not only to have an opportunity to work with you to help you reveal that purpose, but also to see you soar. Just to see you soar and impacting lives. You know, many years ago, I felt compelled to know that I was here to impact many millions of people. And I thought first of all, that's a big statement. It's a big undertaking. And it's like, I'm not sure about that. Then I realized, though, Claudia, something even more important. By launching people and helping messengers like yourself, powerful, dynamic, insightful people like yourself, by helping you find your passion and your mission, it's easy for me. I can sit in my office and launch careers and help you find your calling and help you see your power and allow you to step into the greatness of all that's already there within you. And you go out and impact thousands and thousands, millions of people. You take that exponentially and we're all doing it together. What a beautiful, beautiful experience it is to see and to be surrounded by incredible leaders like yourself.
Well, and it really is generational. I like to say, not just meaning, 10-year generation, but if we can reach out and touch people that will go out and touch people that will go out and touch people, it's like feeding the 5,000 with just a few loaves of bread and a fish,
That's it. I think that's exactly what I'm wishing to communicate. It's exactly that. And I found, so any of us that have that feeling that we're here to impact millions of people, it doesn't mean we do it alone. It means we bring community together, we celebrate, inspire, and help each other see our greatness, and then we can all go out and make a big difference in the world.
Really, that's true. Well, let me tell them a little more about you, because we're keeping too much behind the curtain. I want to bring the curtain out and show this. So her new book is The Sacred Agreements, and it's a book based upon her acclaimed work that has moved thousands of women to liberate the indisputable power of their passions and purpose. Indisputable, that's powerful. She's a lifestyle entrepreneur, life success coach, and a keynote speaker. And she becomes your friend right off the bat. She cares about you and becomes your friend whenever you get to be with Marsh. The creative mastermind behind dozens of wildly successful brands, mine being one of them. Marsh is a sought-after consultant to women who want to manifest their dream and live inspired careers doing what they love full-time. And that's true, every minute of every day. And her groundbreaking programs, live events, and speaking engagements have been instrumental in launching the life success and entrepreneurial dreams of thousands of women worldwide. And I know you've been in Canada and you've been a lot in Hawaii, by the way. You're having way too much fun doing what you love to do to help us to do what we love to do. She has a popular podcast where she speaks to a global audience. And I want to make sure they know this. In 2016, Marsh served as a delegate at the United States of Women, an acclaimed leadership program sanctioned by the White House and led by the First Lady, Michelle Obama. She's been awarded a United States Congressional Proclamation for her work in the establishment of the Amazing Women's Day Initiative, and she is the founder of the 1 Million Called, an organization dedicated to providing women the resources to build brands and careers positioned to benefit millions. And it really is about not just the brand, but it's positioning you that you can be making that difference. So now, everybody, you can see why I couldn't wait to have Marsh back on my show again, particularly since she just launched this great new book. So Marsh, again, welcome. Thank you for being here. So let's go through a few questions so that we can really leave some gold nuggets for our audience today. So what was the most pivotal moment of change in your life?
Gosh, there has been so many pivotal moments. I think for many of us, especially in the times that we're living in right now, almost every moment's a pivotal moment where we're making a decision. I believe that the most pivotal moment, though, was back in '99 when I went through I'm going to call it, in thinking about it, it's to imagine it, it's horrific. But the fact is it was a pivotal moment that opened up a whole new horizon and a whole new focus of where I was going. And then in '99, I lost my mother. I lost my father in 2001. I lost my business. I lost my house. My dog even died. My marriage fell apart. I had just a massive undertaking of experience that was going on, almost more than one could imagine. But it was everything that I thought I identified by, everything that I thought I was about, everything that I thought and had gotten very comfortable in that place. And what was really calling to me, Claudia, what was calling to me on a deeper level was more of a spiritual expansion. I was accomplished in the career that I led, the business that I led. I was accomplished, but the fact is that accomplishment was leaving over on the side the deeper part of myself, the part of myself that really was calling to be more authentically expressed, more purposeful, more, I'm going to say, unapologetic, less, acquiescing to what I thought I should be or how I should be or what was expected of me, and open up to a deeper understanding. And I didn't do this overnight. I mean, that's a big statement. To find our authentic purpose, to find our authentic self, means letting go. And I wasn't letting go very gracefully, so it let go for me, is the way I look at it today. Yeah. I had many opportunities beforehand to let my business go or to sell it, to make major changes, but I was resistant to those. And I know we know what that feels like when we hold on to things, even though we know that the time has come for it to end, we're still holding on to it. And that's what I was doing. So in 99, I had this big breakthrough moment where everything began to fall away. And when it fell away, what was left was the necessity to look at a deeper level. And the way I did it, Claudia, was to look to women like you. I reached out and I began to interview, investigate, study the lives of women that I encountered who I saw had a deep purpose, or I saw had a deep passion for living, or I saw had a bold willingness. I was also looking for ways that perhaps we had wounded our feminine self, wounded that creative feminine aspect of us, or it was there. Maybe it was inherited. Maybe it was we were born with it. Maybe it was our culture telling us that. I wanted to look to see how could we begin to heal at a level that would allow us to rise up in our feminine creativity. And I wanted to merge that. I already had a strong ability to put things into action. But how can I begin to merge that feminine creative power with my willingness to take action so that my actions became very much in flow, or very much grace-filled, or very much spontaneous? Or maybe how could I begin to draw to me opportunities and answers and solutions? So that's what I was looking to do. And that's exactly what I did. I set out on a journey. I called it a search for the amazing woman. And that amazing woman search took me to connecting with hundreds of thousands of women. I spoke with them. I interviewed them. I studied their life. I studied their work. I really wanted to gain insight into what was going on in the feminine psyche. How were we approaching our life in a way that was either very empowered, or how were we disempowering ourselves? How are we taking a back seat to some of the true essence of who we are and what we're here to share, and the gifts that we can give to others? So I began to do that, and that pivotal moment really took me to the launch of a book called Amazing Women, Amazing World. It's a tiny little book it's like a mini coffee table book, but it was filled with insights that I had learned from the amazing women that I'd interviewed. And more importantly, as we know, having that book published began to put me on stages. From there, I launched the Amazing Women's Day movement, went to 100,000 women, launched us as in our careers as leaders, as teachers, as healers. It helped to give a platform to voices of women. And that 100,000 women then went on to impact, and are still on to impact, just millions of women worldwide. But it was that glimmer of an idea. So I think, taking us back, and you asked me what was that pivotal moment, I would say it was that moment when I had that glimpse of an idea that said a search for the amazing woman. And that glimpse of an idea was something that turned into a movement. And that movement turned into a community of women who are insightful, powerful messengers who took out their individuality, their uniqueness, their heart and soul and spirit, and took it out into the world to share and impact the lives of others. So I think that's my message being, is if that glimmer of an idea is there for you right now, don't let it pass you by.
And that's so true. Moment. And those ideas that you have weren't just for you personally. They were for what you would be giving out to others. And so that's when you're really on the right path. It's definitely not selfish.
Beautiful. It's, when Amazing Women's Day, the let's call it a concept for the moment, but the creative concept of Amazing Women's Day came to me. And in my meditations, Claudia, I heard exactly what you just said. I heard, this is so much bigger than you can imagine. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I've looked at that statement so many times. It's so much bigger than you can imagine. It was so much bigger than one person. It was so much bigger than a community of people. It was so much bigger. It was a path that was intended to be created. My job was to step aside at times and allow it to come through me and take me in places that made me very uncomfortable, that made me very, question my own abilities, stretch myself, dig deep into my soul, find a higher message that was wanting to come through me. I had to step aside so many times, and still do all the time. Now I've gotten much better at surrendering into a higher calling, but at the time that was new for me. That was new, to allow something so much bigger, to allow it to come through and begin to impact lives. And I learned from that. I learned a lot from that experience of producing that. And that went into 3 countries for 10 years all over the world. We impacted lives with that movement. And it's still alive today. The Amazing Woman movement, you can, if you lean into that, feel into that, you can still feel the vibrancy of what came through those programs.
And it's so true that when you're in a space that you're designed for, these things come your way. Let me just take a quick little break and share something about what I'm up to, which sponsors our show, and which is exactly on the lines of what you're saying. An inspired idea that you don't have any idea where it came from, but it's meant for you to take it and run with it. And sometimes we have to go through the fire a little bit ourselves so that we then are so aware of what others need too. And myself, I've been a leader all my life, and I've been a woman on the move. And so what I really wanted to create for women that are in leadership, and I'm calling it Women Leaders in Sisterhood. And I'm putting together this wonderful event. It's like a spa day to come together, let your hair down, because we're always the ones that everybody are looking to for the answers. And sometimes, we have them, sometimes we don't, but everybody's counting on you. And then we go home and we have families to take care of, and they're counting on you. And I look at, and I adore men, my first book was for men, but I adore men, but they go to the golf course, play some golf, pat each other on the back, and they go home and they're kind of like unstressed. Women don't have a place to really unwind. So I'm creating what I'm hoping will become a movement, Marsh, is Women Leaders in Sisterhood, because doesn't that feel good to come together as sisters?
I love the title.
A place where you can trust each other, build this community of women that you can share with, be pampered, have a retreat experience. And so that's going to be happening. Our first one's going to happen on May the 20th, and it's actually from 9 to 1. Everybody gets a massage. We're going to work on our dreams and build it, and really connecting with our dreams of who we are, not what we do, and so on. So it's going to be a wonderful day of pamper, let your hair down, and build this sisterhood and begin to build this community. So that's what I'm up to. So everybody just go to claudiacooley.com/sisterhood. You'll find about it. It's amazing. It's going to be amazing. Everybody I talk to is excited about it. So thank you for listening to that, and go connect, check it out. So back to Marsh. Marsh, so you see, you keep inspiring me to more things.
Well, I love the sisterhood idea. I love what you're doing. And I believe exactly what you said is so true, that so many times, we talk a lot about, let me back up for a second. We talk a lot about self-love. And we talk a lot about self-care. We talk a lot about it. But how often do we put it into a practice? Actually, a spiritual practice. I mean, when you look at it, it's for pausing and celebrating who we are, and practicing massage, or practicing self-care, practicing self-expression, allowing that new voice to come through. That takes stillness. That takes a pausing. It's not about run, run, run. It's really about stopping long enough to allow ourselves to really express and feel what's coming through, and what the new answers are, and the new ideas, and stretching us. And so days like what you're creating are perfect for that.
I know. And, we all need that kind of space where we can go back to when we were little girls. We had girlfriends that were really like sisters, and they were our total support and all of that. So, but let's go on to you. What is the one obstacle you believe most women must overcome?
Well, we maybe nailed it just then. It might be still living in the paradigm of accomplishment is where it's at. And my spiritual practice is extremely strong.
Mm-hmm.
I take much time for meditation. I take much time for outdoors and being in nature. That's why you see me on Maui a lot. It gives me that opportunity to be in nature even more than, where I live in a beautiful place in Pasadena, but on Maui, it really is a place of pausing and stopping for me. And what I realized, Claudia, back in the day when I ran my marketing agency for television and film studios, it was all about showing up and working until I dropped. It was about showing up and reaching those goals or reaching those deadlines or reaching that outside vision that I had. Today, I'm more about how do I want to feel while I'm creating? How do I want my creativity to flow through me? What is it that I really enjoy creating? How can I create from that way? So honestly, when new ideas come to me now, or I get a lot of opportunities to work with people, when those come to me, the very first question that we have to ask ourselves, or I ask myself, is this in alignment with my values? Does this bring me great joy? And am I going to have fun doing it?
Mm-hmm.
If it's in alignment with my values, it's natural that it's going to impact lives because my value is to impact lives. But am I going to have fun and joy impacting lives? It does not need to be drudgery, and it doesn't need to be about getting up and pushing ourselves until we drop. Although I do have a big energy and I can go for a very long hours each day, I can, but I've had to learn that my spiritual practice, slowing down and pausing, is where all my good, creative, juicy ideas come, where all the good answers are. So when I pause, I can hear more deeply and I can get those answers. I can pause long enough to see opportunities that are being drawn to me, new connections that are being drawn to me, the ideas that I truly want to put into action. But if I'm in action all the time, I've said, and maybe you've heard me say this, is that if we're leaning so far into the future, about living our goals, we miss the present moment where all the good stuff is. And if we're leaning so far in the past, where we're living through the way we did things before, we're missing all the newness, all the new creativity that can come to us. So it's really about having that balance. So for us, when we talk about self-love, we talk about self-care, that is so important to us. Self-care and self-love is about finding the joy that wants to move through us and allowing ourselves to experience it. Spoke about the art of allowing today. It's on my Facebook page. It's about allowing ourselves the truth of who we are takes stillness. It's not about running and doing. Now, I'm a doer. You know that. I about accomplishing. But if I didn't have my spiritual practice in place, I'd never be able to keep going. I'd never be able to do. Matter of fact, I think I accomplish more rapidly. People ask me oftentimes, how did you do that so quick? Well, it's in the stillness that it's all created. And then the action, you're so deliberate, right? When we're in that stillness of clarity, our actions become so very deliberate that they carry a big punch. And it's not having to work. It's about being so deliberate and conscious with the action that we take that we know it's in alignment with what we really want to create.
Wow, I love that. That's so touching. And I love the idea of feeding your spiritual side first, and then everything else unfolds. So if you stay connected to that, you can pretty much have confidence and trust that the rest will follow.
Weather any storm. You can weather any storm. It's about being really grounded and strong in our presence. And the only way we can be grounded and strong in our presence that I've found, maybe there's other people that have found other ways, but for me, the only way that I've found is to have a strong spiritual practice so that I'm really in remembrance of what I'm about, how I'm here to serve, and what is in alignment with my highest value. And in that case, then my choices are very deliberate, and I'm keenly tuned in to the moment of when I'm connecting with people. Wait, here's somebody that's got, that's being drawn to me because we have something to share.
It's like magic. It really is. I mean, when we really get to that quiet place and the ideas come, it's like,
it's a bit, I like to say I'm even in surprise and awe.
Yeah.
When I get to that place where it's like, oh my gosh, that was such a great idea, or that was such a great answer.
Where did it come from?
Where did it come from? Well, of course we know, our higher creativity speaking.
Exactly.
But we can't hear it if we're so leaning in. And that practice of self-care and self-love is so undervalued, though still in our society, still it's still something that we talk about or we hear about. But days like what you're creating, the retreats that I lead on Maui, all of those kinds of experiences are so necessary, especially for women. I agree with you, especially for women who are stepping up into higher leadership. Because without it, we'll never go where we're intended to go.
Oh, I love that. Without it, I love that. Well, Marsh, in our last few minutes, I want to turn the time over to you to talk about what you want to share with us, where you're going to be, what you offer for them, how they connect with you. So.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for that. Thank you, Claudia. Well, I'm all about, let me just show the Sacred Agreements.
I love
all about the Sacred Agreements, my brand new book, but it's more than a book. I'm offering a masterclass that begins on May 11th. I don't remember what day we're broadcasting, but it's an evergreen. The masterclass, the Sacred Agreements masterclass, is about something that's so important. It's about bringing in that, what I call authentic alignment. What we've been talking about a lot here today is that authentic alignment, so that our actions carry big punch, gets us to where we truly see ourselves going, and we're able to express our creativity at a higher level. Also within that masterclass I've uncovered along my journey and investigating and within myself, uncovered 6 feminine, we could call them shadow aspects, those aspects that are holding us back from saying yes to that next big action, saying yes to that next big opportunity that's being presented to us. Sometimes we can't even see those opportunities because we're living through a veil of less than worthy, or it's not possible, or just through a veil of what we've been conditioned to believe that we're capable of. So in that masterclass, I'm going to be teaching that as well. So it takes the Sacred Agreements, the book, and moves us to the next level. The way the Sacred Agreements has been designed is something that is a touchstone, so that we can anchor in our feminine mindset every single day while we're in action. Every single day we can touch into the Sacred Agreements, remember the truth of who we are, what we're wishing to create, and move into action with a lot of grace and ease.
Grace and
That's
ease.
when I'm going to be in Montreal. I'm not sure the date yet. I believe early June. I'll be in Montreal, Canada. So all of your Montreal viewers, hi, sending out a big wish that I could be there even sooner than June, but I'll be there in June. I'll be back on Maui, at least by the fall, to celebrate. And then, of course, I'm launching a brand new program that I'm very excited about. On May 4th, I'm launching Amazing Conversations with Amazing Women, the Living Room series. And it's going to be an intimate gathering that brings forth creative entrepreneurs. We're going to share solutions. We're going to share about how the Sacred Agreements impact not only our feminine mindset, but our actions as well. So we'll be talking about that, how we can build our careers together, our success together, from a brand new paradigm, a brand new platform and definition of success from our perspective. Success from a perspective that really works for us as women.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow. And so they find you. Let's go back to that information again.
Easy. It's real easy. It's my name. It's marshengle.com, marshengle.com. You can find me on Facebook, of course. My website, love for you to come by and connect with me there. You'll learn about the masterclass on my website, and you can also buy the book. When you buy the book directly from me, it's an autographed book to you. So it's nice. If you buy it through Amazon, you can easily buy it through Amazon as well, but it won't be autographed because it comes from my distributor. But from if you buy it from my website, I'll autograph it according to how you'd like it autographed, and it goes out. And it's a beautiful gift. The book's written so that it can easily be given as a gift as well.
Nice. Oh, and I'm so proud to have you back on my show again, and that again, thanking you for the mentorship that you have given and fed into me over the years. You even came and spoke at my first book launch for my first book.
Yes.
Now I have 4 best-selling books, so award-winning books. So that was a great kickoff, and you were an inspirator for that. So I appreciate it. So at this point, we have to stop. I hate that because we come to an end so quick, and it's such a wonderful time spending it with you and with our wonderful listeners. So everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you, Marsh, for being here. And everybody, I want you to remember this. Follow your vision, and your path will show up. So thanks for being here. Have a wonderfully inspired and ignited week. Go out and make your difference in the world. Bye-bye.